Hello and welcome. We will be speaking about motivational speeches or motivational talks or pep talks and their psychology in this episode. Motivational classes are very popular in India and abroad India also. And it is estimated that the value of the motivational speaking industry in the US alone would be close to 2 lakh crores. So that big is this industry. And there are specific reasons why people like motivational speeches. So one of the things is that motivational speeches usually employ the art of storytelling. Humans are hooked to stories, especially if they are with a happy ending. And the compelling stories that people make in motivational speeches are able to engage our emotions, and they sometimes help us simplify some of the abstract concepts, and all these cause a kind of a place pleasurable feeling in us. And when a motivational speaker passionately recounts stories of triumphs or struggles or overcoming struggles, it could be their own stories, it could be stories of others, or it could be these could be made up stories. But no matter what, our mirror neurons may get activated and we may feel the same sense of triumph going through a story narrated by a motivational speaker. And this could give us at least a short term a short term confidence in our own capabilities to overcome problems in life. And most motivational speeches are given with a lot of enthusiasm and charisma, and delivered with a sense of authenticity and authority. All of this can make us believe whatever is the message being sent through the motivational speeches. They speak with clarity very fast, and many times we don't get a time to engage in our critical thinking while we are sitting through a motivational speech, and we just get hooked to it. And most of the times the audience or majority of the audience would be also very receptive of the ideas. They expect the motivational speech to be very pleasurable for them, and they get that also. And all of these make people get hooked to motivational speeches. And especially if you are someone who is trying to overcome some problems, a motivational speech could give you a message that it is very easy or it is doable. And that is probably the same answer that we are seeking. We want someone to tell us that you can do it or it is possible, and we get this feeling from motivational speech. So what does the evidence say about the effectiveness of motivational speeches or motivational talks on long term change in people's behavior or attitudes? So evidence for long term efficacy of motivational speeches is almost nil. What we know now is that motivational speeches cannot give us actual motivation for long term to accomplish things or anything. Most of the positive effects, and these effects are mostly emotional, most of the positive effects of motivational speeches are short lived. So what we get from a motivational speech is probably some form of an inspiration, not motivation. And this may just vanish. This inspiration may vanish when we go back to the real life and the real problems that we face. And at least in India, the motivational industry is not regulated. There are no standards. And sometimes audience or people, common people, since there is not much of psychological literacy also in our country, people mistake motivational speakers as psychologists. And I have personally seen people asking questions that are better asked to a professional, a mental health professional. People asking these questions to motivational speakers, and most of them may say that I'm not qualified to answer this question. But sometimes a motivational speaker himself or herself can believe that they have the answers, and they give people solutions to problems like stress management, or tips for stress management, or overcoming stage fear, or overcoming anxiety. So these are sometimes, at least sometimes, better asked to mental health professionals and not a motivational speaker. So that is one problem that we have with the impact of motivational speeches, especially when people mistake them for psychologists or mental health professionals. Also, it is not to say that motivational speaking is not effective at all. There is a specific form of motivational speaking which we call as motivational interviewing in a therapeutic context, which is a collaborative process and a personal centered style of counseling which psychologists and psychiatrists employ in certain therapeutic settings, especially in the treatment of addictions and all. And motivation interviewing has been shown to have remarkable impacts on helping people overcome addictions and other therapeutic settings. So it is not to say that motivational speaking is not effective at all, but then there are caveats. It has to be given in a personalized manner, taking into account the specific challenges and the specific needs of the person, and it has to be tutored and tailored to the needs of this person, and not as a stage performance or anything. A stage performance can give us a temporary goosebump or some good feeling, and if we like having that feeling, it's well and good. But then we should not be keeping too much of expectations of long-term change in our attitudes or behaviors, by listening to a motivational speech or a TED talk, even for that matter. So, if we actually face problems in our attitudes and accomplishments in life, what we can do? One is to work on our own problem solving skills. Problem solving skills are specific life skills, which can be taught. We can train ourselves in our problem solving skills. We can find what are the areas of shortcomings in problem solving skills, and we can work on them. We can also practice what is called a self regulation, which is again a trainable entity. So we can set goals, we can take our own feedbacks on how our goals are being achieved or what we are doing to achieve our goals. We can rearrange, we can refocus them. So these are all specific and systematic ways of overcoming problems, personal problems that and most of these fall within the purview of what we call as consulting psychology, which is not a very popular branch of psychology within India. So that is it about motivational speeches. It is not to say that motivational speeches are useless, but there are other caveats that we have to take into account when understanding how effective motivational speeches can be. And that's it about motivational speeches in this episode. Thank you.